Subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell icon for the latest film interviews, features, and recommendations on the movies that matter.
Mahesh Narayanan, it's good to see you, Mahesh. How are you doing? How are things?
I'm good. Still at home. So see you soon. Or like work from home. So
True. Mahesh, it's been a little over a week since See You Soon dropped on Amazon Prime Video, during Onam. And, it was an experiment on more than one count because, of course, the format was an experiment, the whole, a film that unfolds on screens. But also the whole idea of making a film straight for OTT, making a film during lockdown, and knowing that this is a film that people are going to watch at home, on OTT. How do you look at the way that it has played out? I mean, I know that the critical responses have been largely positive. I know that audiences are responding favorably, but just the whole idea of making a film for home consumption. I mean, how do you look at the whole experience now that it's kind of ended in a way?
we had a bigger film called Malik, which was supposed to release last April. So the thing is, the whole industry got into a standstill atmosphere. Like nothing was happening. So it was at that point when Fahadh sent me a random mail saying that, okay, why can't we make like something on an idea which I shared with him long time before. So I'm pretty much happy because we started this as an experimental project. I've never considered this as a feature or anything like that. I didn't like normally when I write a draft, I count it like the pretty much the Sitfield method of writing, like page a minute, like a method. So apparently my draft ended up within a 65-page thing, and I've been telling Fahadh that nothing more than 1 hour, man. I'm not considering it as a feature at all. Like I don't know, but when we ended up editing the feature, this film, then we realized that it is not the conventional format. And the writing itself is not conventional. And normally when I narrate anything, normally when I go to an actor, I want to narrate the entire film. It is not that I need to read it. So this particular thing, I need to read it because it is very difficult for me to narrate also. So the end result is so overwhelming that even I got a call from the producer of Searching, Timur. So asking, saying that, okay, you've done a great job. So and he's more into this computer screen genre, like screen life genre film. So he has apparently invited me, our film, to Moscow Film Festival. So saying that, okay, I'm showcasing films on screen life. So why can't you present your film there? Like I'm happy about it. And he was like, his production company has been asking me whether you're interested in more screen life films. So I'm telling him that no, this is basically something which I've done for lockdown. I'm no longer into this screen life genre. I want to make something.
However, Fahadh told me that you all were so encouraged by the whole experience that there is a plan that you all might do, and there is, you sort of leave us with a slate in the film saying,
in the end,
now we'll see the real lines, right?
Yeah. So that is a unique idea which actually came up from Fahadh's point of view. Fahadh was keep on telling me that whatever you're missing in this film, since it's a virtual film which is happening through virtual communication devices. See, for example, if you look at it, there is a scene when Jimmy and Anu meets for the first time. It's not that their first time meeting. It's basically he would have gone there, parked his car in the basement. She would have come out and would have had a warm moment or something like that, some kind of a moment. So those things are missing in the film because I can't write it as a conventional film where I can place the camera anywhere. It is very difficult. So Fahadh was telling me why can't we make a film which is people know the end. We know that this is going to end like this, and we know that all the characters. But let's show a film without their virtual devices. So probably Kevin won't be that much there in the next film. It will be probably like a Jimmy and Anu story. What happens to Anu after meeting him, or after when she's moving out of the apartment, like that, something like that. Yeah.
Right. You've spoken, Mahesh, about the fact that all of this was very new for you, the scripting it, and Fahadh has spoken about how you all actually shot a few days and then you all had to stop and have this sort of meeting and get all the actors to read out their parts just to figure out how to go.
Yeah.
Mahesh, from being a director who knows exactly what he wants to do, to being a director who's figuring it out as he goes. Does that bring a little bit of insecurity when you're working? I mean, there's a unit, and even if it's a small unit, I know it's only a unit of 32 people, you're all in one building, I know all of that. But these are 32 people who are looking at the director for direction. I mean, he knows what he's doing, and we're investing in his vision. When you're yourself figuring it out as you go, I mean, personally, what is that like?
So biggest insecurity for me is basically going into shooting without a script. That is the biggest insecurity. And whenever like, if you look at Takeoff also, we finished the entire shooting process in 49 days. It is very difficult for a film like Takeoff to finish it that, because I had a clear vision that this much is what we require. So even I built the entire set of Iraq within within Indian limitations, and put the entire set of hospital inside Cochin, the exterior in Hyderabad, and then some pure portions in Ras Al Khaimah. Like, I've been working around my edit constantly. I write for my edit. So considering this film, like, since it's a completely new genre for me and or the entire crew, they were all dependent on me. They were all always asking me, like, what's next? So my question to Fahadh was like, let me edit it and see. And I assured him that no talent will be wasted. No, none of the talent will be wasted. Like everybody, like Roshan, Darshana, anybody who's acting or anybody who's behind the crew also, none of the talent will be wasted. But the thing is that I need to make sure that whether this heading towards a feature length kind of a thing, or we'll apparently end up in a YouTube kind of a platform where where we can, like, some in some terms, like large short films kind of a category. So I need to figure out that. So, and also the regular kind of time lapses, or the regular way of like cutaway or cut in is not working in such a format. So I told Fahadh specifically that I need some time to work it out, like on table, and let me see. But Fahadh is actually very much confident in me, like saying that, okay, don't worry about it. Let's shoot it fully, then we'll go back. But I kept on insisting in that before you going into shooting, before you joining the filming process, I need to be sure that I need to make an assurance that, okay, I am confident, I'm pretty much confident. There is a kind of insecurity which I felt really well, which I felt during the entire process, because I felt, editing this film is pretty much easier. But this is the toughest project for me to edit. It is very challenging because, after, like, when you go conventionally, Rajeev, the scripting process, what happens in location is that, like, we break down the shots into various ranges, like close up, mid shot, and everything. Here it is nothing like that. Here we go the entire scene. We play the entire scene, and then after editing, only that stage happens. So that is where the process of virtual cinematography comes in. So it is very challenging where like how much we have to explore, like give away, like how much, like is this, like there we have to add those cinematic emphasis, how to zoom into the character, how to pan in with a shot, with beginning of. So all these things have to be decided later, much later. Then my edit will change. So I have to go back. So it's like basically it's like me working personally within myself. So it's more like that, yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're also shot chronologically. I would imagine that was necessary for this one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I haven't done it yet. Like for Takeoff, I hope you have seen the film. Like for Takeoff, I had to shoot the climax first. The border crossing first, because I don't want to miss out Fahadh's dates. So I planned the film according to Fahadh's dates. So, and even Malik also, I couldn't do that because it is a period drama. So, age matters, and then, the production design, I have to, again, go according to their convenience. But this film is the only film where I had that freedom to shoot it in my chronology. But another problem is that I like for my actors to act just looking at the screens, it was very tough. Yeah. Like, that was the toughest part, because like imagine Fahadh sitting in like before his computer, and there are, like, just like how we are talking, like at least I have a visual of you. But for him, there is no visual. I have just few marks of saying that, okay, this is the mouse pointer, this is going to the Facebook window, this is where this girl is going to come, this is where Jimmy is going to come, this is what is happening from the CCTV. See, like at times he'll go mad and say that, okay, let's go shot by shot. No, I'm telling you that there is no shot by shot here. You have to do it in a continuous flow. Yeah, that was a challenge. Yeah.
How did you get those performances? Because the beauty of the film also is that the performances feel very, very authentic. To get them to that level of to raise those emotional stakes and to get them to perform in that manner when they're performing to screens and not to other actors as they normally do. I mean, was there a process? Were there workshops? I mean, I know they're all very good actors.
So considering this film, now all my films, like basically what I do is that I don't go with rehearsals and all. Like don't go with I go with a reading session, proper reading session with actors, and then then I will specifically explain the backstory of their characters. For this particular film, I need to be very much thorough on their backstory, because not too many things are shown in the film.
Revealed, that's right.
Yeah. So even the text, what they're typing, there is a story behind that. Even the three dots which is happening, there is a story behind that. So that I have to be very much clear about that. So we had even arguments. Me and Fahadh had arguments. Me and Darshana had arguments on kind of things what she felt and I felt. So like there is a midpoint between them. Like like whatever they are approaching and what I am approaching. We all have to be on the same page. So for that point itself, it takes a little bit of time. Then onwards, I am a person who never gets satisfied until the moment I get. I comment which is made on me by an actor called Prakash Balawadi. I hope you know Prakash Balawadi.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He's been telling me that during takeoff, don't make me act within your scissors. Like my editor brain actually functions more better than a director's brain when on location. So it is actually true. And some people actually feel very much uncomfortable with working with me because I don't give them that organic flow of process. I tell them that, okay, this much is required and this much is I'm going to use. You do that, but I don't want that. I'm going to use only this much portion. I'm pretty sure about this. But considering this film being a screen-based movie, and I can't mix and match different takes in this film, I need to follow the entire take. So I had to do it back and back again and again. So I was like, none of these takes were like very much simple as you see. Like some of the takes were going about 36, 38, 40 and all, like those kind of numbers, crazy numbers. So at one stage I realized that, Fahadh told me that, I have to see it. Like I have to see it once and then if you're convinced, then let's stop it. So at one stage I've been telling him that, okay, this point I'm okay. But this point I'm not fine. So you have to go back. So normally there is a thing with Fahadh, he's never happy with the first day shoot. He keeps on reaching, like if you look at Kumbalangi or if you look at Tondi Modal, even Takeoff, he reshot things. Like he keeps on insisting, keeps on pushing your director saying that, okay, I'm not happy with the first day shot. Like, first day I'm not perfect. So this way, after finalizing all Kevin's scenes, Fahadh was constantly telling me that, like, why can't we shoot the entire Kevin's portion in some other location? So I'm telling him, no, man, this is not going to work. And I'm pretty much happy with the kind of footage you have delivered to me. And I can show you the edit. Then only you will, like, otherwise people won't understand.
Mahesh, like you said, Malik was ready. It was in fact just weeks away from release when the pandemic closed everything down and the release had to be deferred. What is that like when you have to put that away and kind of move on to another project? I mean, was that hard knowing that you came so close to the finishing line and then you have to put that away? And also, was it fully ready? I mean, was everything done, post, locked, everything?
Yeah. So, it's actually a blessing for me. This film happened. Otherwise, what happens, I will move into other stage of depression. Rajeev, the thing is that for us creative people, like, something what we are making this particular year has to be exhibited to people. Otherwise, what is the creative satisfaction? It is not about money or it is not about any other thing. It is about expression of an artist. Otherwise, how are we going to, show them that we are alive? Like a writer can write, a painter can paint. How a filmmaker can exhibit. It's simple like when Anurag Kashyap told us like about how his film Panch got banned during those times. It is something like going into a hardcore depression stage. Like it happened to his second film also, like Black Friday. It's more like the same thing. So it is actually a blessing what Fahadh actually told me that I am there for you. Let's make a film. Let's make it. And another thing is that Malayalam cinema was going through a very difficult time because Malayalam cinema was not like digital platforms are actually the third window for Malayalam industry. Yeah. Like first window is theatre, second is satellite, and the third is a digital platform. And none of the digital providers were actually looking at Malayalam market. And I've been witnessing all these people like, daily based workers, like I'm talking about the daily beta workers, but assistant directors, assistant editors, assistant cinematograpers, all are like suffering because all their payments will get settled only when the film is getting released. Okay, right. So the last 6 months, the project, what they've been into, none of them were paid. So people have started selling, like household items, like, cooking from home. And I know state award winning people, like, delivering home from food. I'm not disrespecting anybody, but the thing is that they're all creative people. So it is like, we all felt affected with that. And there was a ban which actually happened from the exhibitor's point of view, from Kerala Producers Association, saying that, okay, we can't do OTT films. It's mere stupidity. Why? Because why, Rajeev, I'm telling you, like, art cannot be sabotaged like that. It is not. It can't be like done like that. At least this year we have to take it as a survival year. And I'm pretty sure that, like, imagine Christopher Nolan couldn't release his film in the certified theater of Christopher Nolan's, like, he's certified at specific theater in LA, California. Like, that's Universal Studio Theater, that IMAX screen. That screen is closed. Still, Tenet has to be released. That's the reality that we have to accept that.
Right. Tell us a little about Malik. I know it's early because we don't know when the film will come out. I mean, is there an idea of? I mean, is it now looking like next year, as late as next year?
Like whatever I've been listening from my producer's point of view is that my producer is actually the president of the association here. So he's been constantly telling me that, like, I will never give it to any other platform because this is made for theaters. Let's wait for theaters to get open, and I'm pretty sure that, like, he'll hold that film. That I'm happy that. But the thing is, there are films which like, I'm not specifically talking about Malik here. Like, a film has got a specific expiry date, Rajeev. That you'll have to understand. Like, within 6 months, some films will get expired. The content will be made in some other language, or the similarity in idea will come up in some different people. Like, anything can happen. So regarding Malik being a period drama, and it discusses it is a film which actually goes through 1968 to 2018 geopolitical situation, what happened to coastal terrains in Kerala. So it has got some kind of a meat, like, where I can hold it, like, till next year. Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy that even if it's releasing next year, it has got that reach for a specific set of audience, and it's also done in a slightly commercial way. More like, I'm not talking about my commercial way. Like, it's somewhat more commercial than Takeoff, if you look at it. So in that sense, I'm happy. Like, we're holding Malik for theaters, but there are a lot of films. Like, 60 films are almost standstill in Kerala, and some of them are almost ready. Some of them, like, 15 to 20 days shooting are pending. But still, producers don't know how to venture it out, how to monetize it regarding this kind of market. And a lot of people have been telling me that GCC is open, like, GCC market is open, but still, I don't know. I'm not sure about, like, if a Malayalam cinema is going to be played in GCC alone. I'm not sure that, like, people are going to watch it in theaters because they need to feel safe and secure, right, Rajeev? That is a primary thing for them. Yeah.
Right. Malik is the story, from what I've read, of this man who is the leader of this coastal community that is under threat of they are being threatened to relocate. And he starts off this rebellion. Fahadh plays this character, and Fahadh is playing a man who ages from, like you said, because it spans all those decades. He goes from 21 to about 57. Is this based on a true story?
It is not based on a true story because, it is based on certain events, like, which happened in Kerala, which is actually very relevant right now. And it deals with a lot of, I'm not talking about specific community and all. It's based on a coastal terrain where how like, once you have one kind of a natural calamity happens, like tsunami or Oki, like a specific region will be considered as marked by the government, saying that this is not convenient enough for people to live. And they will be, like, moved from this area to some other terrain, and they will be given some houses, but they can't survive on that because the primary condition for these people is to live in that locality itself. And one fine day we'll be seeing that locality has been changed into some resort or some hotel or some other kind of an establishment from the government side. So it is very sad because we have been witnessing this for the past 20 years. So that's why I felt that this is a relevant topic which has to be discussed, and there is enough content on it because I've been witnessing a lot of people suffering even today because of all these issues, because retaliation is happening, but it's not from the right perspective. So how to, like, I've been seeing a particular community who has been resistant enough, like that they have been showing this resistance for a long time, but with this thing of CAA and all, it has been happening a lot. And I'm pretty sure that this is a story which has to be told right now, and it has to be addressed in such a way that it has to reach the masses. That's the only way I have to tell it. It's basically very close to my heart. Yeah.
Right. You've said that since Fahadh is not, for the first time, he's playing a character that's not his own age.
Yeah.
He was quite concerned about how he would look and whether that would work out.
Yeah.
And apparently, you all modeled the look on his grandfather, on his late grandfather.
Yeah. Fahadh's father. So basically, there was two options. Fahadh was actually asking me whether I should put on weight or I should lose weight. So actually, Mammooty, like Mammooty actually suggested me that, saying that, okay, you should never make Fahadh gain weight, because he will lose his control. His acting behavior, everything will go. It was actually true. So when we looked into Fahadh's personal photographs of his father and his grandfather and all, like they were all into a shrinked atmosphere. Like they went into a zone where they look very dynamic, but they're all very lean. So and Fahadh was actually going through old VHS tapes where he was constantly witnessing his father climbing down a stair, which he used to witness for a long time. Like he used to go to locations he's been a director for a long time. So he has this moment, this memory of his father climbing down a particular stair, and how age has made him, like the speed is same, the energy is same, but there is some kind of a differentiation which is happening between one stair to another stair. So that is the moment what Fahadh realized, and he picked it up very well. He picked it, and he's like, Fahadh is a person where he's actually a method actor, but we don't see the method. we don't see that where he's getting
invisible. Yeah.
The preparation is unimaginable, and it is not evident. It is not, some people actually, it is very, like on location they go like this, travel like this, and see the things and settings and all. Then they go into that performance zone. Fahadh is not like that. Fahadh goes with some kind of an energy which happens quickly. I don't know whether from where he's getting that. It is still, yeah. Oh.
So for the younger portions, he lost about 20 kilos. Is that true?
Yeah, he lost almost 15 kilos, Rajeev.
Wow.
It is very challenging for him to do that.
Wow. Yeah, and you all shot the older portions before the younger portions.
Yeah, the older portions were shot first because, it is primarily set for the convenience of the art department, because in the sets and all, for Malayalam cinema, I'm not getting that kind of a budget for Bollywood and all. So the thing is, basically, there is a massive set put on 6 acres and all. So I had to build that set first, and then I have to shrink it down. So that was for our convenience. So all the actors have to do the same thing, reverse, in the reverse order. Yeah.
Right. I have to ask you the film geek question, because there is some confusion over it. Fahadh said in my interview that the opening shot is that single shot. The opening scene is a single shot, which is 25 minutes. There's some confusion on the internet. Some are saying 12 minutes, 20 minutes, 13 minutes. Set the record straight.
It's 12 minutes. It's actually 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
12 minutes, yeah.
And that's still a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, still a lot. And it's not about it's not about a chase sequence, or it's not about an action moment or anything like that. It's about hardcore emotions and a setting up of a film. Like in that, like it's basically a reference material what I've taken from a lot of filmmakers, where how they set it up a particular scene. Like in that, if you watch that particular scene, we know the entire film. We know the entire character, the backstory and everything is very much like, it comes very close to you. That's what I feel. I don't know, like that, like audience has to say that, but I am very much sure that, within, like, it's not meant for any gimmick or anything like that, because, a lot of people ask me, like, you being an editor, why are you creating a single shot, for just because of a camera? No, it's not about a camera gimmick or anything like that. It is basically because of the only true thing is that a person who's been living in an environment where where he has this fluid movement, free way of movement, traveling things and all, and he's just confined into into an atmosphere where he's put into a claustrophobic space for the next 14 days. So yeah, it is. There is a counter opposite to that also, that you'll have to witness it in the film.
How exciting! Can't wait to watch. Finally, I have to ask you, Mahesh. Fahadh told me that the thing about Mahesh is that his single obsession, his single sort of the one thing that he's obsessed with is films, and he'll come and he'll talk about them all the time. It feels like it's still a few months to go before one can resume some semblance of normalcy in terms of work. Is there other ideas brewing? What's going on?
Because Rajeev, the new normal, like today morning, WHO has been published a statement saying that this is not the last pandemic you are going to witness. something else has to come. Like, we don't know. So
Right.
what is the new normal? What is the new normal condition? We don't know. And UK, yesterday, like, theaters were open, but today, like, anyway, like, people are telling that, okay, there is nothing, like, you know, it's a scary situation.
Right.
So I'm thinking that studios are like, you know, film is going back to studios. Film is going to go back to studios where, you know, it's not about indoor studios, but the old, like, Prabhat studio kind of a thing where, you know, where everybody coming under one roof, rehearsing all together, working all together. So that is what is going to happen. That is where it's going to head. So in that way, we have to be equipped well with content, and limitations will be there. Definitely there will be limitations, but technology is so superior right now. Is that, like, you know, I'm not a person who always wants form to get ahead of content, but still, you know, sometimes, you know, there are a method of forms with which we can play a lot of magic. So I'm looking at that. I mean, in terms of how to treat it in such a way that some other kind of way of filmmaking has to be, you know, the first comment what I heard from Mr. Kamal Hassan during the lockdown early days was, this is a Mahesh, you just remember, like, one thing, that this is a point where, you know, one new Godard is going to come up and just evolve out of the, like, you know, from so out of, like, it's actually true, because a new wave is going to come and we should accept that. Yeah.
Right. Well, all the best, Mahesh. I really enjoyed See You Soon. I thought it was really well done. Never reduced to a gimmick. I thought it kind of you're emotionally invested in the characters, and sort of the format is actually kind of works with it. So many congratulations.
Thank you.
See you soon, and can't wait to watch Malik and whatever else you do next. All the best.
Thank you so much.